have a look.
Might be a different screen.
Are we on now?
Yep, perfect.
Excellent. All righty. So if you can have a quick read of the disclaimer and let me know, just thumbs up once you're finished. Awesome. Excellent. All righty. So now just a really quick intro into what our program is. So with the those that have pulled together this program, it's called COVID-19. It's Business Adaptation Program. The initiative is to support small businesses at uncertain times in regards to the coronavirus that we're going through at the moment. After pulse checking over 100 businesses in the Ipswich area, this program was developed to accompany federal and state government resources for businesses. Our project is to promote business continuity and encourage businesses to adapt, to overcome and improvise. On the right-hand side there, you'll see all the different programs that we've got coming up. We've got many more in the pipeline as well. At the end of this session, we will ask you to complete a survey form. Please make sure that you do give us your feedback. We need to know how we can better help you. We need to know if you're interested in marketing, or if you want to know, as an example, how to get online, what services are out there for you to help you, what grants are available. If you let us know what you need, we'll be able to provide that for you. Right. So today's agenda is presented by Ms. Andrea Anderson from Your Marketing Machine. Quick background. So Andrea is a very passionate advocate for the power of small business enterprise to establish economic strength and stability. She is a machine herself. So, oh, too far. Alrighty, so here, this is what we're going to be learning from Andrea today. It is a Q&A session where Andrea's going to be able to pinpoint your business needs in the right direction. In the chat group, please write your questions in there. Andrea will be able to point you in the right direction and give you the information that you need at the end of the session. Have a look at what other questions have been put in there as well, just to give you an idea, jog your memory, or just to make sure that we're not doubling up. Awesome. And now I'm going to hand you over to Andrea.
Thanks so much, Maria. Really do appreciate it. And thank you actually to both yourself and Jodie for allowing me to be here today with your amazing crew. Look, team, I hope that you're going to be getting a lot of relevant information out of today's presentation. What I've done is I've sort of, rather than try and give you the whole gambit of what you need to do for marketing, ideally what I'd like to do is pretty much just pinpoint you into one particular area of where you could start inside developing out a strong online presence. So if we're ready to rock and roll, if someone can just give me a thumbs up so that I know what you're looking at, that would be fantastic. Excellent. Right, so I don't actually have the how to cook your books presentation up. That's always a good thing to know that I haven't done that. Okay, so first and foremost, I'd just like to do a quick welcome acknowledgement to country, and that is I'd like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of this land. I'd like to pay our respects to the elders past, present and future, for they do hold the memories, traditions and culture, as well as the hope of Indigenous Australians. How I would like to run today, team, if that is possible. And that is ideally I'd like to take around 30 minutes to essentially get through the bulk of the information I'd like to share with you. During the time of this presentation, what I'm hoping is that it will evoke an action. The action I'm looking here for is for you to put some questions and some comments inside the chat box. And this is going to be real important because after I've completed my session, ideally I want to be able to go back, circle around to those questions and answer those questions for you as best as possible. Also, while you've got me, this is the great opportunity for you to hit me with as many questions as you possibly can in the time allowed. The more questions you've got, the better I get. There you go. How's that for actually putting it out to you? So let's get started. And what I want to talk about first and foremost is the essentials of building out your website presence, which is a key component of developing a strong online presence for you right now. So for some of you that are on this call, you may actually have a website, you're planning on redesigning it because it's not working right now. How can I do that efficiently and quickly and simply so that I can get back on target, and that is reaching my audience? Perhaps some of you on this call today don't have a website presence, and you're wondering whether now's the right time for me to be building a website, and what kind of website should I be actually building now. Perhaps some of you are shifting your website to give you better functionality in your business. Great. How can we streamline that process, make it efficient without actually interrupting or negatively affecting the way that your business currently flows? Or maybe some of you are doing what I did recently, and that is completely renovating your website because your business has changed direction. And look, I can guarantee you, whichever one of those is your situation right now, you are not alone. Okay, with the way that I guess the business environment has shifted so radically like never before, many of us are now having to become, I guess, a lot more creative in the way that we serve. We're realizing that we need to be more collaborative in our actions, but more importantly, we need to find unique ways of being able to maintain relationship. And as you've probably identified, everybody's gone online. So how do you stay current in that situation? So there's 5 key aspects that I'm going to cover off, which is real important to all elements of your website, whether you're redesigning, renovating, building for the first time. These are 5 key aspects I want you to be aware of. Now, I do encourage you to take notes. This is going to be vitally important for you. However, you're also going to receive an email follow-up from me that's going to have a copy of my presentation for you as well. So please do take notes as you see fit. So step 1, let's get into it. Where does my website fit in my marketing? I'm hoping that you received a hello, welcome email from me this morning. Inside that email would have been a downloadable PDF of something called the Marketing Blueprint. If you didn't get it, don't worry. There will be a copy of the PDF for you also in the follow-up email. But inside it, what I talk about in marketing is something that looks like the Marketing Blueprint that consists of 4 key components to ensure that you've got kick-ass, on target, on track marketing. And today, really where we're focusing is in beginning of your online presence, and that's through making sure that you've got a web presence that you can start to build credibility, reputation, as well as enhance your brand upon. So inside your website, what you've got to be aware of is what the website can actually do for you. It can become, and even more now than ever before, your online retail store. Based on a report that was done by Telstra back in 2018, their small business report, what they identified was that 62% of customers will stop considering a business if they can't find anything about you online. And I know for many people who do own businesses, the idea of putting them at the forefront or putting them at the front of their business can be quite horrific for them, can be quite challenging, and in particular for a lot of professionals like lawyers and accountants. Unfortunately, that's how we actually build reputation and credibility. And even now with us, as we look for ways to stay alive and thrive beyond the coronavirus. Your website is a great way for you to gather leads. It provides valuable information. It gives people an insight into who you are, what you're about, your values, your ethos. And more importantly, though, it's a great way for people to start to determine if you're the right kind of business that they want to build relationship with. Okay, so if you haven't got a website, one of the things I'd like you to write down is, do I need a website for my business right now? I want you to circle that, and if necessary, put it in the chat box, and I can come back and answer that for you. Element 2, what components are necessary for a website to be successful? Look, if you've spoken to web developers and marketers before, I hate to say it, we're like prostitutes. We're on every corner. We're lifting our skirt trying to sell you something, right? So what I'm going to give you today is information that is really vital for you to be able to have a conversation with confidence with a web developer. So let's get into it. What do you need? And I'm going to call this the 4 V's, guys. Okay, so the 4 V's. V1 is the victory, or what we commonly call as controlled chaos. I spend a lot of my days actually talking with businesses who come to me and they go, Andrea, I need. And I go, that's great. Where does that fit inside your marketing strategy or your game plan? And they go, I have no idea. And I go, well, that's great. How about before we go spend any money and waste it, how about we just get some clarity around where it is that you're wanting to head for? What is it you're actually wanting to achieve? And based on what you've got in your business right now, how feasible is it for us to do that? So having somebody who can assist you in building out a general game plan that you can actually build your whole entire marketing off is going to be a conversation that you need to consider. Is that ready? Are you ready for that conversation right now? It also will help you create that defined pathway. It'll simplify when you need things to be done in an appropriate order. And look, I'm a big fan of being upfront, so I hope you don't mind being upfront about ballpark figures on what you need to be aware of. If you do go to approach somebody to provide you with some form of a marketing game plan that aligns in with your overarching business direction, be prepared to look at anywhere between $2,500 to $10,000. Now, before you fall over, because I know some of you have just fallen off your seat, so get back up. These are probably pre-coronavirus days. Okay, so you can actually be quite negotiable at the moment with a lot of marketers because, like you, they're still trying to keep their businesses afloat. But these are just ballpark figures that I want to share with you. V number 2, find your voice. This is where you evoke emotion. Now, we do a lot of copywriting in my business for business in my company, and we do a lot of content writing. Even more today than ever before, the language that you use to describe your business is essential. Saying to people you are a trusted advisor just doesn't cut it anymore. If anything, what it does is it creates an immediate barrier that you have then got to attempt to try and hurdle over. And the reason why it creates a barrier, because people go, yeah, really? Prove it. Tell me how you're a trusted advisor. How do I know you're trusted? So the aim of the game here is when you're looking at building out content for your marketing, you want to ensure that the content aligns in with your voice. In other words, there's something that I use called your MOU. It's your market of own uniqueness. Okay. And this is where you determine how you want to be perceived and received in the market space. And even more today, that is way more prevalent than anything else at the moment. If you are just spinning white noise, and if you are not showing your true uniqueness or being authentic in the way that you present yourself in the market space, I can guarantee there are 1,000 others out there lining up behind you, ready to show their true authenticity. So when you're looking at building out your copy, when you're looking at building out your online content, right, I'm going to encourage you, go find a wordsmith, go find a copywriter who knows how to write that creates emotion. If you're looking at website copy being done at the moment, you're looking at anywhere between $1,200 through for a 6-page professional standard website through to anything from $5,000 for an e-commerce website. Okay. And if you want to know a rough ballpark specifically for your business, put it in the chat box and I'll answer it for you. V number 3, V for 3, is your visuals. This is your powerful position. This is your brand. And I'm sure everybody knows who that brand belongs to, right? And it was really interesting because if you read the story about how, how Nike got this brand, you'd laugh your head off. Essentially, it was a last minute thing as part of their IP registration that they just needed something. So somebody, one of their staff members actually just went tick, and that was it. It was born. So the key here is when you're looking at your brand, you want to make sure that your brand is a presence. You want to ensure that your brand aligns in with your voice. You want to ensure that it aligns in with how you want to be positioned in the market space. And I can give you some examples if you want, because we're currently working on one right now that needs to go through a complete brand overhaul, because what they're saying, what they're doing, and how they look is horrific. Okay, so we don't want to do that for you. We want to make sure that everything is in alignment, because if everything about you is in alignment, what you create is credibility. You create trust instantly, and that's the key here for us. For branding to be done for you, and look, it's more than just logos and pretty colors. You're looking at anywhere between $2,000 to $10,000, depending upon how much you actually want designed. Now, people, I'm going to tell you right now, please don't go and invest large sums of money in any form of advertising and then go to freelancer.com or Vistaprint or Fiverr and pay $90 to get a logo. Okay? Don't do it to yourself. You're going to negate what you've just done to yourself, okay, and the investment you've put in to date. V number 4, drive your vehicle. And that is, what kind of website do you actually need right now for your business? Some of you out there have got big, cumbersome, heavy to manage, heavy to drive websites that are just tearing your hair out. So I'm going to encourage you. Sometimes it's best to go slim. Yep, put your website on a diet, okay, and just stick to the main components of what you're trying to do and what you're trying to promote. That is the real key here for us. Nobody likes to get stuck in a maze, so you need to ensure, people, that your website is going to be user friendly. You need to have a positive user experience. Here's the reason why. If people are going to come into your website presence, you've done a lot of advertising in other areas, you've pulled them to your website. I hate to tell you, if your website looks like an ugly baby, they're going to run. And where they're going to run is to your competitor. Okay, so we don't want that to happen. Make sure that your website looks appealing. Make sure that it's easy to navigate and easy to move through. If you've managed to attract people to your website, give them a positive experience about you. Don't leave them second guessing or trying to figure out what it is you are going to do for them. People only give you 3 seconds if lucky, and then they're gone, and they'll go running to your competitors. So I just want you to take a very quick few seconds and just very quickly look at, what is it for my website that I actually need to work on? Is it my language? Is it my branding? Is my marketing an absolute chaos? I don't know where the heck I'm going. Okay, or is it that my website really is an ugly baby that needs to be considered? So just take a few seconds, make some notes here, add some information if you want into the chat box, and let's see how we can be of service to you.
Can I just remind, sorry, really quickly, everybody to please put your microphones on mute. There's just a lot of sound coming through as well.
Excellent, guys. Thanks for that. I hope you are making tons of notes. Okay, element 3, what kind of website format suits me? This is a question I get asked a lot. And the reason why I guess I get asked a lot is because, unfortunately, look, there are some questionable marketers out there, right? And some people want to sell you more than you actually need. Whereas I'm a big fan of low cost, no cost strategies. You know, raise your hands if that's you, because that's definitely me. But in saying that, I want low cost, no cost strategies that are actually going to return for me as well, so that I can create income that I can then reinvest into some other, other more expensive strategies that are also going to increase. So I'm a big fan of, hey, look, let's keep it simple, silly. The whole KISS theory, it works for me. So let's just go through some of the website examples that you could be considering for your website. So your company profile, or what we call is the professional standard or standard professional style. This is your stock standard 6-page website. It's your homepage, your services or solutions, a frequently asked question, about us, a contact us, and that 6th page is usually made up of being blogs and articles. Now, you'll find that the majority of professional businesses have this kind of website style. They fairly templarized. And the key here is really just letting people know who you are, what you are, that you are dependable, that you can fix it, that you may have the right solution for them. So for this kind of profiled website, you need to have, testimonials, and recommendations are real important on this kind of website style. If you have some reputable businesses that you've had a relationship with, and they're okay for you to allow you to use their logo, then great. Have company logos that you've worked with as well on this kind of website. Straight away, what it does is it creates credibility. One big thing you need to be aware of with this style of website, and that is it's all about the user experience. Okay, so if your website becomes way too difficult to navigate, they're gone. If your website makes no sense, you're gone. If your website's got poor quality imagery or photos, or Shutterstock style photos, you're gone. Okay, so this here is all about building, I guess, or positioning you to be a trustworthy potential for them to reach out to. E-commerce, sales driven. Now, look, prior to Shopify coming on board about 7 years ago, trying to build an e-commerce website was huge money. You needed to basically have the budget of a small country to be able to afford an e-commerce site. But thankfully, for platforms like WooCommerce and Shopify, it's actually made it quite affordable for those of you who do have an e-commerce business. And look, my goodness, I don't know about you, but because we're at home, having to work from home, and we live in a compound of 4 townhouses, we see, it's funny because we're all home, we see a van turn up literally every 45 minutes. And they're dropping off something to someone. And there's only four townhouses where I live, right? So if you're in the e-commerce business right now, and your business hasn't increased by 300% right now, you need to speak to me, because there is something that's probably gone wrong in your user experience on your website, especially if you're getting traffic to your website and it's not converting into sales. You're probably making it a little bit difficult for your customers to buy from you, because trust me, we're buying like there's no tomorrow. Okay. Customer support troubleshooter. Look, these are primarily websites for enterprise style organizations. People, things like, for example, if you use GoDaddy a lot like I do, there's a little chat box that pops up and you can type in and have a conversation. If you're talking to any of the major companies like your Telstras, your Optus, which if you're like me talking to Optus every day going, why is my NBN so slow? And up pops, a chat box and off you go. The great thing about this kind of website is that it's brilliant for throwing a whole ton of information on there, and people essentially being able to self-educate, as well as have the option of talking to a robot. Education, practical advice. Now, these are great websites for those of you interested in building out a membership site, or for those of you who have got programs that you're used to delivering face to face and you're now looking, how can I put those online? Okay, this is the kind of website that I'd probably be recommending to you. And there's some great examples of website platforms out there for membership style or for selling your programs online. So if you want to know about that, put it in the chat box and let me answer that for you. Okay. Entertainment showcase, these are one of the biggie ones, and I doubt that there's probably people here who have got this, but this one is all about real time. So if you look at anything like your major news outlets, so Channel 9, TV7, you'll find that on their website it's all real life. Chambers of commerce, city councils, regional councils, they are constantly updating and they're pulling in information from all over the place to put into their website so that people can actually obtain the information as and when needed. So I just want to give you a few seconds just to go, what's my current website currently look like? What is it? And really, what is it that I actually need? So take a few seconds, make a couple of notes, and then I'd like you, if necessary, put it in the chat box and let's answer those questions for you. Excellent, team. Well done. Almost on the home stretch. Element 4, how does my website fit inside my business? Now, this is a biggie, team, because your business is made up of just more than a website, more than just social media, and more than just marketing. So let's look at how your website as an online presence for you could be of benefit. Definitely from a marketing perspective, it drives traffic, it engages prospects, it generates leads, as well as it has an opportunity to re-engage existing customers. Quick story, I had a client, they're a printing company, been around for 15 years in North Brisbane. Their website got hacked, and because they didn't put any value in their website, they didn't bother to rebuild a website. 5 months went past, and suddenly what they noticed was that business was dwindling fast. And the reason why it was dwindling fast was because people were Googling them and couldn't find them. So made the assumption that they were actually out of business. And to make it worse, the client didn't actually do any email marketing as well. So even his previous customers thought he was gone. So we very quickly put together a very simple gallery styled website because he is a printing firm. And then what we did is we put out a big email campaign going, we haven't left you. We haven't closed the doors. We are recession proof. We are here. Come and visit our new website. Suddenly, web traffic went through the roof for him, but more importantly, so did the till ringing with sales. So if you don't have a website at the moment and you're not really communicating effectively to your audience, having a very simple website is better than having none at all. From a sales perspective, it can actually help close sales by validating and supporting your sales team's communication. I can only but assume that you're going to go check me out, and I would expect you to go check me out because you need to know, is this woman for real? So you need to go check me out and make sure that my website is as good as I say it is. Well, it's there. So, you need to go check that out. You might even go to my LinkedIn profile and go, is this woman for real? You may even go check out some of the other things that I'm also involved in. Why? Because you need to validate your decision as to whether I'm the right kind of person for you to be speaking to. Okay, so here's a piece of advice for you whenever you're speaking to marketers. Go and check them out. Don't give them any money, even if they sound great, right? You hear me? Go check them out. Make sure that they're legit. Customer service. It's a great way for you to improve your customer satisfaction through better service. And some of you may actually need a little automated chat bot on your website just to help answer your customers' questions or your inquiries. Human resources. Some of you here might have contractors. I've got contractors. So in the back end of my website, I'm building out an intranet or an online portal that has all of my templates and content up there for my contractors to be able to access. right? So it's a great way for them to keep coming back to my website. Other good thing about people coming back to my website is that it's a great organic ranking strategy as well for your site, because the more people you've got coming into your site, sticking with it and hanging around, you automatically increase your ranking inside Google. IT, your website has the ability to integrate with other systems. So make sure that it meets security, performance, and scalability requirements. Some of you have got customer relationship management systems like MailChimp or HubSpot. Okay, guess what? They integrate, they can talk to each other. I know, right? Crazy. You can link into your social media platforms, your Facebook, your Insta. You know, if you're currently writing blogs, I would put your blogs inside your website and then have it repurposed to everywhere else, and then have options for people to come into your website and read the full content of your blog. From an operational perspective, it's a great way to reduce costs. And who here would like to save money and streamline the way they work? Raise your hands. Come on, raise your hands. I can see them. Thank you. Absolutely. I'm the same. I want to streamline. I don't know about you, but I'm tired of duplicating work. It bugs me. So how can I get my website to act as a free human, a free slave that can do things for me automatically? And also, it's a great way for you to be able to grow your organization's bottom line and increase profitability. So let's go into the last element, element 5. What do I need in my website? This is going to be real vital for your team. So strap in, let's go. First thing, you need a logical roadmap. You've heard me talk about user experience. Now, there's something I need to tell you as well. Whatever you learn here today is also going to be valuable for any other online presence you choose to create, whether it's in your Facebook, whether it's in your LinkedIn, whether it's your Instagram, Snapchat, whether you're doing it on Pinterest, your YouTube. If you don't have a logical roadmap and therefore provide a great user experience for people coming to check you out, they will leave. Okay, so you need to have a logical roadmap. It needs to make sense. It needs to flow. You want to take people on a journey. Make sure it's a positive one. Okay. Number 2, crucial business information. Okay. Right to be relevant. Remember, we've all got short attention spans. Some of you have probably already gone on and done something else and got this playing in the background. Okay, so make sure that your information is relevant. Make sure that what it actually does to the reader is invokes an emotion that goes, you know what? Wow, what Jodi's saying actually makes sense, or what this person is saying on this website makes sense. Yeah, I can resonate with that. All right. You want to use appropriate and easy to relate images. So wherever possible, I encourage people to avoid using photos of children. And for some, and you know, many of you will understand why I suggest that, but I do. If you are going to use children, I always recommend use the, you know, like the backs of children, not the front, the face of the child, just for safety reasons. You know, if you are going to use animals, which is great, make sure they're appropriate, make sure they relate to what it is you're trying to say about yourself. Okay. Feature 3, contact information. The amount of websites I go to, and it's like, where's the phone number? Like, how, like Maria's like doing this to me, right? Where's the phone? And suddenly, and especially if you're on these things, right? Because 85% of websites get opened up on these things, and you're like, where's the phone number? I can't. And you go, I'm done. Make it easy for people to reach out to you, folks. Okay, make it easy, make it simple. Make sure you have a number, an email, an address, and a contact form that is easily accessible and visible. Oh my Lord, make sure you have your telephone number linked on your website. The amount of times I've been sitting somewhere, obviously not driving, because we can't do that, I'm parked, and I go, I've got to ring somebody, and I go in and I go, oh yep, there they are, go to their website, press the, and I can't ring them. Make it easy for people to contact you. For those of you who are running businesses and you are using a non-company related email, we need to speak immediately. Okay? Gmail, Hotmail, AOL, Fuzzy Wuzzy, Big Pond, iCloud is the fastest way to show people that you are not a professional, legitimate business. It's that simple. So team, for those of you who've got it, we need to talk, we need to have a conversation, and it doesn't take you much, it doesn't cost much to get that email, by the way, also. All right, feature 4, please have FAQs where possible. FAQs are a great way for you to become what I call as keyword rich, and also assist with any sort of search engine optimization strategies that you are putting in place right now. Also, FAQs answers the question in the reader's mind. It gives them peace of mind that you've actually thought about answering the question before they've asked it. So it's a great way for people to gain confidence in you because you've already thought about it. On average, I recommend between 6 and about 9 FAQs. Don't make them too long. If they're going to be long, put a button, say contact me, and that goes through to your contact us form so they can ask the rest of the question and get more information from you. Also too, make sure that you're updating your website sort of I say every 3 months. Yeah, right. Most people once a year if you're lucky. So let's make a commitment, update every 6 months, and then you can change out your FAQs. Feature number 5, lead capturing. OM freaking G. This is important. If people are going to come to your website, if they're going to read your stuff, you want to capture their contact details. Bare minimum that you should be getting. First name always helps. Just saying, always helps. Second thing, their email address. Depending upon the kind of business you are, third thing you can ask for is their business name. Maybe you could ask for their postcode for some of you there that are geographically positioned. For some of you, it may even be a telephone number. Be mindful, people are still hesitant giving their telephone number, but there's other strategies you can use to get their telephone number, all right? But you want to make sure you've got lead capturing in there for you to benefit from that person being there. Social media integration. If you've got social media, make sure that you've got the little iglets, little icons sitting on your websites. Feature number 7, clear navigation. Okay, a map is useless without navigation. It's like sending somebody out into the wilderness and go, find your way home without a compass. So you want to make sure that you've got easy to understand and logical names for your various pages. Team, this also remains the same. Some of this also is very much the same for other social media platforms as well. Try not to be clever or cryptic. Nobody wants to be treated like they're a numbnut or an idiot. All right, so keep your language very simple, even for some of the technical boffins. Okay, you're still human. Okay, so we still need to have a human, relationship here at some point. So let's just keep it really simple and make sure we use call to actions that make sense. Your website should always be mobile ready. That is a given. If your website isn't, go back, talk to your web developer and have a serious word with them. Number 9, make sure you've got strong security around your website. This is an absolute non-negotiable. Yes, even small businesses are being hacked and being held to ransom. Okay, so make sure that whoever you're talking to who's building out your websites, make sure that they do have all the correct security features for you. And also be aware of your hosting. Whoever's building your website and hosting your website, ask them, where is my website hosted? Ideally, you're wanting your website to be hosted in Australia, would be really good. Southeast Asia is safe. The US, although at the moment, but questionable. But if your hosting is being held in Europe, I would be shifting very, very quickly. Okay, just a food for thought. Some features you don't need. Look, you don't need music. Yes, there was a time when you used to have music and used to do really flash, funkier things like, you know, people walking onto their websites going, "Hi, my name's Andrea," you know, and sounding really seductive but looking really stupid. So you don't need anything like that. I'm a big fan of not auto-playing. We don't know where people are when they're reading your website, and the last thing they want is suddenly big loud music coming out from nowhere. All right. And look, any information that you're going to be pulling in from external sources, please make sure that it's easy to be uploaded. Okay, because you don't want to cause buffering issues and cause delays on your website coming through. So team, I'm going to stop here, Maria, so jump on in because I know we've got some questions and I want to throw it open to our audience if that's possible.
Lovely. So I've actually been copying what everybody's their questions. So I'm just going to quickly paste them all on in the one for you so you can have a look at them and then everybody else can add theirs in.
Coolio, Julio. Let's have a nosy. Da. What should we be expecting from our designers, marketers? From Murray. Hey, thanks. Really appreciate that. I'm a big fan of, like I said before, the KISS theory. Keep it simple, silly. And ideally, what you want to receive from your marketer and your designer is something that actually aligns with who you are, what you are. I'm a big fan on, you know, the feeling thing because we all can be quite intuitive in our own unique way. We know instinctively when something doesn't feel right. We can't put our finger on it, but we go, "Oh no," you know. You read stuff and you go, "Oh geez, what, like, were they on drugs when they wrote this?" You know, you'll look at an image and you'll go, "Oh my lord, those, they're psychedelic colors, like really?" So essentially what you should be looking for from your designer and marketer, and here are 3 questions that I'm just going to throw out at you. Number 1, what you should be asking them is how do they see your business being marketed? That's real important. Most marketers will ask you what you want, right? And then they'll just build to that. If they're actually very good or exceptional at what they do, they should be able to give you a holistic overview. Even just through a conversation with you, they should be able to give you an indication as to how they feel your business should be positioned, how you should be appealing to the market. They could even come down and go, "Look, I would go LinkedIn, but I wouldn't go Facebook. And here's the reason why." So any recommendation they give you, you want them to justify it. So that's question number 1. How would they position you? Question number 2, what kind of examples do you have right now that I can go and have a look at? And are you okay for me to ring some of those examples to find out the experience they had with you? Oh, if you hear your marketers do this, run. It's a great note, but run, okay? Because you should be able to, with confidence, be able to ring some of the people they've worked with, okay? So that's question number 2. What have you got to show me what you can do? Number 3, what is the level of relationship expectation here? Okay. I'm a big fan of saying to my clients, this is a 50-50 relationship. You give me crap, guess what's going to happen? I'm going to slap you and then you're going to get crap. You give me great content, you give me what I need, I can guarantee I will create you the best damn chocolate cake you ever ate. So for me, this is about a relationship. This isn't a transaction. So you want to get an understanding from the person you're communicating with. Is this a transaction or are they attempting to build a relationship here with me? Okay, so that's the expectation I have. Dollar value, it's really funny. People say to me, well, what do you cost? And I go, well, how long's a piece of string? Okay, so where possible, you want to go and speak to at least 3 different kinds of marketers, pitch the same issue, see what you get back. But I'm going to encourage you, don't take it on price alone. Just because it's the cheapest doesn't necessarily make it the best. Okay, so food for thought on that one there. So thanks, Murray. Appreciate that one. From Sue, how do you develop a marketing strategy for an education website? Oh, booyah! Love it! Gosh, how much time do we have? This is exciting. It's going to come down to, firstly, what kind of education you're actually creating. Something you need to be aware of with education websites there, Sue, and that is that there are three, I guess what I call are 3 ways for income generation to take place. Number one is a DIY, do it yourself. And this is where somebody would pay $29.95 a month and they would access the information you've got and essentially do whatever they want with it. Okay. Second way of income generation through education websites, and that is what we call as a done with you. So a done with you situation is where they, for example, might come into an online classroom that you've created, so they'll get a little bit of personalized interaction. They're part of a group of people, and they may pay something like, I don't know, $59.99 a month, for example. The third option that you've got is what we call as a done for you income generation. In the instance of education, this is where it's one-on-one. So they're paying a premium price for you to essentially be available to assist them on a one-on-one basis, how to achieve from A to Z. All right. Education websites are probably some of the simplest to actually market at the moment. And a lot of it actually is going to come down to the quality of the content you've got, the different kinds of formats you've got, and the kind of programs that you're wanting to put out to the market space. So if you want any more information, look, let me know. And also it's going to come down to what platform you're built on as well. Okay. So food for thought on that one, but very simple. Look, the world today is screaming out for not just content. They're screaming out for how the heck do I do this? So if all your website is doing is creating content and just educating without any assistance in implementation, then you might find yourself struggling. So you might need to look at where's the implementation component attached to the education that I'm providing. Okay, hopefully that's given you a little bit more clarity around where to go with that. Oh, geez, Maria, these guys have been busy. Cool. Excellent. What language styles evoke immediate action, credibility, and a sense of user feeling understood? Oh, Sue, I love your language. Fantastic. It's really important when you're looking at copy, and it's really interesting because there's actually 2 main styles of copy out there in the marketplace. One is very old school, very traditional marketing, and it's based on fear. Okay, so it's a scarcity based mentality. And a best example of that would be if you don't do what I'm going to tell you to do, you're going to be 10 times worse than where you are today. So that kind of style writing is very psychological. It's like a psychological warfare style where essentially I know you're hurting, so I'm just going to smack you with a 2x4, beat you down ever further because you're going to be screaming and begging me for my solution. Okay, so that's a style that does actually still work, believe it or not, in some industries. Then you've got the flip side, which is what we call abundance-based writing or copy. And that is the scenario of, look, I know you're really hurting. That's why you're here. Here are some solutions that may be of benefit to you. And here's why I feel these solutions could benefit you and help you move from A to Z. Get the difference in the style of language that we're using here? One's I'm going to smack you because you need me, and then I might consider helping you. The other one is, hey, thanks for turning up. I know you're hurting, so here are some potential options for you. So those are the 2 main styles of writing. I'm more inclined to go to the latter than the former, although in saying that, I do write copy in the former, but I'm very particular about who I recommend uses this kind of language. Over here, I'm more optimistic, more positive, more sort of solution oriented. Okay, because in most cases I find when you're solutions oriented, what you're actually doing is assisting the reader to establish, to build trust in you, but actually to have the confidence to take on board your solution. Okay, so those are two very different styles that you need to be aware of, and it's all about the user experience, right? So it's very, very important that you consider which one you're going to go, because once you've gone down one path, you've got to go that path continuously and commit to it. From Murray, what are your thoughts on CRM integration platforms and tying into your website? Oh yeah, that's a no-brainer. That's a definitive yes. You want to be able to use your website to streamline what I call data input, throughput, and output. Okay, got to remember that in this online presence that we're currently in right now, everything is about data collection. The more data you can collect about your reader, your buyer, allows you to come up with better quality solutions that therefore can create referral strategies or repeat business. So CRM systems, and look, there's plenty of them. You've got, MailChimp is free for up to they're still free. I think they're still free, up to 2,000 emails. That's a great one for people to cut their teeth on if they've never done a CRM system before, right? It's very simple to follow through on. You've got HubSpot, who also offers a free option. They're a little bit more convoluted. They can, they provide the opportunity for you to data collect more information, but once again, it's a machine and it needs to, you need to understand how to make the machine work. There are big ones you can go to like ActiveCampaign, Pipedrive, Keep, Infusionsoft. So fundamentally, what you've got to look at is what's my current situation, what's my level of capability in being able to manage a CRM system, and what can I actually afford. Okay, but absolutely, you should be integrating where you possibly can. All your contact us forms should actually be built inside your CRM system and then brought into your website. Okay, hopefully that helped you. Cool. Can you suggest 2 to 3 ways to evaluate the strategies we might implement? Oh, yeah, easy. Marketing is probably one of the, believe it or not, marketing is one of the most results-oriented areas in your business in today's market. Reason being is that everything you do inside your marketing actually has a key metric attached to it. So, for example, with websites, you'd be looking at building your Google Analytics to your website so that you can see how many people actually came to your website, what pages they actually landed on, how long they stayed, the process that they traveled through on your pages. You can even see like the journey they took from page to page. More importantly, it can tell you how long they stayed. And that's a biggie, especially when you're looking at doing any form of paid advertising to pull people through to your website. You want to know, well, how many people landed and how many people bounced. And normally, once you've got those figures, then you can start to look at, okay, why did they bounce? Was it because really bad copy? Like my website looked like an ugly baby? No disrespect to anybody who's got ugly babies, by the way, because I love babies. Babies are babies, they're beautiful, but some of them are ugly. It could be that the ad you were using to promote your business was sending a different message to the one you had on your on your website. So the key here is whenever you're looking at marketing, what you want to also ask is, what are the metrics I need to put in place to also be able to track what's happening with my business? Okay, but marketing is probably one of the most highly tracked and results-oriented aspects of your business than ever before. I think that's it. Maria, I think we answered.
Great job, Andrea. Thank you so much for all of that. Is there anything else you want to add?
Look, I was just going to say, just in closing from my perspective, remember you've got the 5 essential elements there. Like I said, you're going to be receiving this PowerPoint presentation as a PDF for you to download. Also, don't forget, you're going to be getting the recording as well. So do watch that also. Next steps that I'm going to recommend, and that is review the recording of the PowerPoint presentation, map out your website build, identify your budget. That is real important. Okay, don't ask for the earth if you can't afford it. You might be able to afford a little piece of dirt. Great, let's see what we can build around that. Check the right help to start building your presence. Okay, that's real key. And look, I've got a team of people that I can happily recommend and suggest as well. And I know Maria and the team at Firestation will also have the same. Go and check out the next events that you can attend. While Firestation 101 and the City of Ipswich have got these amazing webinars for you with phenomenal people like me, take advantage. Go and check them out. What I'll also be doing, Maria, is putting into the email is the opportunity for these guys to book a 15-minute, no obligation, where they can just come and harass me for 15 minutes to half an hour, and we can, slap them around and see if we can point them in the right direction. And look, guys, for me, this is part of a series that I'm doing, so hopefully you'll come back and join me, hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, so we can continue on the path to building a beginner's guide to building your online presence.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Andrea. I'm just going, do you want to stop sharing so then I can share again?
Absolutely. Let me just stop sharing. Yep, back to you.
Awesome. And I will. Cool. So on the chat, I've just sent everybody a link in regards to a survey. I will ask you to please make sure that you do complete it. Why I'm asking you to complete it? Basically, we want to be able to help you, but we can only help you if we know what you need help in. So please make sure that you do complete that. It's in the chat, but I'll also send it to Andrea so she can put it into her email as well. And as you can see on the screen, I've also put it in there. Just really quickly, again, these are the websites, these are the workshops that we've got coming up. We've got a whole heap more coming for May as well. Again, we just want to make sure that we're doing these as what you're needing. Okay, and lastly, the program's been brought to you by Firestation 101, Ipswich City Council, and our supporting partners that you can see on your screen there. It is a joint initiative to better support and lead our local community into successful, agile businesses to make sure that we all survive and thrive through the COVID-19 and beyond. That's everything. So that's everything I wanted to share with all of you. Does anybody have any other questions before we get going? No? Awesome. Okay. Thanks very much, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Any questions, please feel free to ask Andrea or get in contact with us at Firestation 101 as well.
Thanks, team. Really appreciate the opportunity to be here. It's been a real privilege, and I look forward to seeing you guys all soon.
Len has got here, what's happened to the webinar? Len, I'll email you, I'll message you privately on here. Great. All right. Bye, everybody else.
See ya. See you, Andrea. Bye.
See you, sweetheart. Bye.
Bye.
I think Len's joined from Meetup. It was it defaulted to an 11 o'clock session, so we can just send him.
Right. That's okay, Len. We can send you the recording anyhow.
All right. Chat soon, Maria.
See you guys.